Neil's trying stuff out, but
No.
we're fucking here, Neil.
I know where you live, bro. I know where you
Yeah,
live.
I live in Kansas. But
You live in Kansas?
yeah, but if people ask me, I tell them I live in Kansas City. You know,
You know, man, this whole time I did not think you lived in Kansas. It's so weird.
where'd you think I lived?
I
Alaska,
don't remember.
Argentina. You know,
I,
we
I
his
don't even know
cousin,
who you are. I
we
don't
his
even know who
cousin,
you are anymore.
you know, we his cousin moved to Argentina, because he thought there'd be revolution there, so he wanted to be part of there for it. Like, but then he just lives there now as just a foot doctor. um,
That's just weird, dude. I don't even know what you're talking about.
his he fucking Zach's awesome, dude. I like that. I like that guy a lot. We saw him, Christmas. We had people over, and he's like a straight fucking punk rock anarchist guy. So it's really cool to see him.
That's weird, man. I am trying to find because it should say we're live somewhere on the good old
Instagram.
yeah, but I don't see it. It says that we're streaming on it, but I don't see it. Oh no, hey, shut up.
What was that?
Let's see here. That was my phone playing Instagram videos because I'm in the middle of doing stuff, trying to figure this all out. I'm trying to figure out something new for everybody, guys, and it's just not. I don't see us anywhere. Maybe it's under Reels. Is it under Reels? No, not under Reels. Explore, search. I'm just trying to figure out where we're at. Like,
Well, let me know. If you find it, Neil told me that before we went live, he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure shit out. So you're gonna have to talk. Now talk, don't you?" And I was like, "I figured it out yesterday." So
he definitely did.
I went to
Okay.
I went to Guitar Center yesterday, and I picked out a new guitar. It's
Ooh, nice. What'd you buy?
a Kurt Cobain Fender Jag Stang from crafted in Japan. And the Japan part it was what made me buy because the other one was new, but this one it had well it had dings and dents and scuffs, but that just means it was loved, right? So, but when I saw it was crafted in Japan, I'm like, fuck, why are they selling this so cheap? So I bought it, and it's still at the store because I'm like, getting it set up, so they can clean it and get it ready for me, so I can pick it up and just fucking make love to make sweet love to it. So can't wait. But
You're gonna make love to a guitar?
I've made love to many guitars in my life, so yeah.
Oh man, I don't even know what to say to that.
But have you ever made love to a guitar?
No, I don't think.
Are you ready? You're like, are you still looking for stuff? Are you ready?
Yeah. Okay. It just shows that I can't watch it because I'm the actual account. Cool. All right. Let's do this.
It's a show by Chris and Neil with all great movies. They are the real deal. We watch them all, so you don't have to. It's movies that don't suck and some that do.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is a new episode of Movies That Don't Suck and Some Do. My name is Neil.
And I'm Chris. I'm spilling beer on myself.
Man, you got really quiet all of a sudden. What happened there, bro?
It always happens for you for some reason.
You went very quiet.
Am I quiet now?
No, I can actually hear you now, but I couldn't even hear what you said.
Well, I said I'm spilling beer on myself.
Well, that is your fault. You should learn how to drink, sir.
Mm-hmm.
drinking and podcasting is not something that we advocate for. So make sure not to drink and podcast.
We do it all the time. Since day one, that's what we've done.
If I had beer, oh yeah, I do. I just have to go get it.
Is it cold yet? How long until
Probably. I'll go get it here in a second. Let's
Okay.
first introduce these movies.
Yeah.
All right, today we are coming back after Christmas vacation,
Mhm.
and today we're bringing you two movies that you can watch out there at the theaters this time. The first movie is called Poor Things, featuring Emma Stone.
Nobody gives a shit but you. And let's face it, Dad, you are not doing this for the sake of art. You are doing this because you want to feel relevant again. Well, guess what? There's an entire world out there where people fight to be relevant every single day, and you act like it doesn't exist. Things are happening in a place that you ignore, a place that, by the way, has already forgotten about you. I mean, who the fuck are you? You hate bloggers, you mock Twitter, you don't even have a Facebook page. You're the one who doesn't exist. You're doing this because you're scared to death. The rest of us don't matter. And you know what? You're right. You don't.
That's from the fantastic movie, The Birdman.
Birdman. I know. When I was looking through clips for her, I was definitely trying to find
That's
which
a
ones would be
great
best.
scene. There's many great scenes she does in there, but that's one of the best. Oh, she's so good.
That is the best scene in that movie, I think, actually. All right. And then on top of that, the one, the only,
Wonderful.
Bid our father, the Sea King, rise from the depths full, foul in his fury. Black waves teeming with salt foam, to smother this young mouth with pungent slime. To choke ye, engorging your organs, till ye turn blue and bloated with bilge and brine, and can scream no more. Only when he, crowned in cockle shells, with slithering tentacled tail and steaming beard, take up his fell befinned arm. His coral-tined trident screeches banshee-like in the tempest, and plunges right through your gullet.
That's from The Lighthouse. Oh my God, I love that scene. God, I love The Lighthouse too.
Now, for people that don't know this, in that movie, farts more times than any human being should ever do. I had a video that I was gonna send you, and it was just gonna be of him farting. And that's what I was gonna put as the clips.
Okay. Well, who else is in this movie?
Rami Youssef.
Yuval, dude, you gotta fucking call me, man. See, it's just this shit's fucking, it's not good. I don't know where you are, but it's not good, and I need your help. I gotta strategize some shit. The Salim and Ayala, they gave me a custom. It's the most expensive thing I ever held in my life, and I don't know where it is. I literally cannot find it, and I think it got stolen, man. Okay, I think it got stolen. I was with the hooker at my dog's grave, right? And we were fucking chill. It was sweet, but she knocked me off the bench. And I think she fucking picked me, dude. Like she tackled me. But I thought it was because she was horny, because we were connecting, dude. It was crazy. We were sitting there and we were talking about God, and then we started making out, and then it was it was God.
Yeah, that's God, he's so good too. And Yusuf. Let's do it.
Yeah. And the one, the only, such a bulk, you got to call him the Hulk, Mark Ruffalo.
But we don't have a choice, Robbie. If we don't rush to print, somebody else is going to find these letters and butcher the story. Joe Quimby from the Herald was at the freaking courthouse.
Mike.
What? Why are we hesitating? Barron told us to get law. This is law.
Barron told us to get the system. We need the full scope. That's the only thing that will put an end to this.
So let's take it up to Ben, let him decide.
We'll take it to Ben when I say it's time.
It's time, Robbie. It's time. They knew, and they let it happen. 2 kids. Okay? It could have been you. It could have been me. It could have been any of us. We gotta nail these scumbags. We gotta show people that nobody can get away with this. Not a priest or a cardinal or a freaking pope.
Yeah, and that's from Spotlight, which is a great scene from the movie.
Spotlight.
Mhm.
And you notice what everything had in common?
What's that?
Michael Keaton.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what about the Remus? Well, yeah. Okay, those two, I guess, right?
I know. I mean, that was not.
I was,
that
like,
was
well, I was
not-
like, Keaton was in the Lighthouse, but
yeah, he was.
he was a
He was
seagull.
the guy. He was the seagull. But anyway, the movie we'll be talking about first will be Poor Things, which can't wait to talk about that
Dude.
movie. I'm gonna totally rip that one apart. All right, and then the next movie. The next movie is the #1 movie of the past week and one of the greatest movies of all time, maybe even the greatest movie in all of history about one of the most tragic families. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to say like that. But anyway, a movie that is out there talking about probably one of the biggest tragedies, and not just sports entertainment or sports period, in life period. Like if you followed the entire livage and livelihood of the entire Von Erich family, it is not just the wrestling, man. It was way before and it keeps going. And this is the movie is called The Iron Claw, with some of the sexiest men alive, starting with Harris Dickinson.
So your intention was to pay me back?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
So why did you take the €50 bill? Once I realized you didn't have enough cash, I paid the bill. And then instead of giving me the €50 bill, you put it back in your purse. What? I'm just saying what happened, Yaya. What did you do? What the fuck are you doing? Don't fucking do that to me. Don't fucking do that to me, Yaya. Don't do that to me! Don't fucking shove things down me, you fucking
Seriously.
child!
You're behaving like a crazy person.
Shut up! Don't do things like that to me!
What the hell are you doing with my money?
It's your money! Oh my god, it's not about money, Yaya! It's not about...
That's from Triangle of Sadness, which we talked
Triangle
about.
of
last-
Sadness. You should definitely know that movie.
Yeah, it's a good
It's
one.
from your boy.
I mean,
That's
my
from your
boy.
boy, man. How do you not know that?
I mean, my boy is. Oh, we'll talk about my boy later. But who else in this movie?
More Attorney is in this as well.
God, I'm not having this conversation with you.
Audrey, you can't go. This is not fair.
Fair? Oh, okay. Let's define fair, shall we? Last night, a 5-year-old boy was crushed because his father lied to him about coming to his birthday party. Fair?
Last night.
Was none of my business. None of my business. 2 years ago, it was my business. But see, I don't have to care about that anymore. I don't care. That's the magic of divorce. But it matters to Max. Everything you do matters to Max, and everything you don't.
All right, now let me tell you something. I'm a bad father.
It's from 1997's Liar Wire.
I know, right? She was in so many classic
Nice
movies
pull,
and
dude.
classic shows,
Nice,
dude.
nice pull.
I was like, man, how could I not pull one of the most famous lines that,
I'm a bad father. Yeah, gotcha.
yeah. Also, another great pull, I thought, in my opinion, who plays Daddy, Mr. Fritz Von Erich, Mr. Holt McConnelly.
Robert Paulson?
He's a man, and he's dead now because of us. All right? Do you understand that?
I understand. In death, a member of Project Mayhem has a name. His name is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson.
Come on, guys.
His
please,
name-
stop.
Name is Robert Paulson. Come on, Greg. His name
It's Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson.
His name is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson. His name.
So I want to mention something. Matt was watching this. My brother was watching the Iron Call with me, and we saw him. He rings him and he goes, "His name is Robert Paulson.
There's other great movies has been in too that I was like, oh, I don't know if I should pull from this, if I should pull that. But then I was like, no, I definitely need to.
It's gotta be that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
What else?
like I could have pulled from Nightmare Alley, I could pull it from Mindhunter, I could pull it from even Justice League. But
Yeah.
anyway, then the guys who played the two main brothers in the Von Erich family. First, the one we all know him from his many now award-nominated self. The one, the only. You might know him as White Trash from Chicago, but some people know him as a nice fine dining cook in Chicago. The one and only Jeremy Allen White.
Robotics. But none of that undergrad filler bullshit. No 200-seat lectures taught by TAs. I just want the shit out in front of me.
The shit?
Yeah, the tools. You know, the toys. The stuff I can't get access to in my ghetto high school.
Why?
Because I'd like to hang out with C-3PO in my lifetime, and at the rate you're going, that shit's not gonna happen.
I'm not following. You don't want to go to classes. You just want to play in a lab.
I don't want to sit in a lecture that teaches me how to modify algorithms instead of think for myself.
That's from Shameless, but he's also so good in The Bear.
Yes, and that line, like the next line in that movie, in that because we don't do them longer than a minute. I try not to do longer clips. But the next line's the guy's like, C-3PO, man, that'd be fucking dope. like the line continues. But yes, he's also in The Bear. That was in Shameless. That went on for what, 9 seasons, 10
Yeah,
seasons?
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, something insane like that. And The Bear is nothing, like he gets nothing but, I mean, you should have, if you haven't gone and watched the interviews that these three guys have done for the Iron Claw, you literally need to go look out for them. Like everything they did with like the Tonight Show, Jimmy Fallon, all this stuff. Because the questions went between pro wrestling and Jeremy Allen White and if he can really cook.
Yeah.
But last but not least, the hunk himself, the person that put the musical in high school, the person that, you know, made us all think, wow, maybe there's better things on Baywatch than just Pamela Anderson. The guy who told us that having neighbors that all dress up like Robert De Niro is okay. The one, the only, Zac Efron.
Bros before hoes, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, man.
Junk before trunk.
All right, balls before dolls.
Padres before I sleep with two madres.
Brad Pitt before grab clit.
These nuts before skinny sluts.
Masturbate before ask her to date.
Beef stew before watching The View.
Male erection before One Direction.
Mario and Luigi before Thelma and Louise.
Bert and Ernie before Squirt and Spermy.
Man purses before regular purses.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does.
Sports before genital warts. No, fucking that's bad.
That was a little weird.
Fading a little bit.
John Madden before.
Jasmine from
Aladdin.
Aladdin.
Yes.
Ah!
We just said that at the same time.
What's your favorite of those things that they were doing? What was your favorite?
Man, I don't know.
Oh, good.
I don't know if I want to say that out loud.
Junk for Trunk's pretty funny.
Junk before, yeah, that one's cool.
Yeah.
But that was from Neighbors, and that's Zac Efron. The second movie, of course, we're going to talk about. And plus, Neil being a huge pro wrestling guy, I know what it's all about, brother. I know what the headlocks. I know about the sweat, the pain, taking the vitamins, saying the prayers, giving it up to the big guy every day because of the 24-inch pythons go wild on you. Whoa.
You can find us on movies on Suck.net. We're on Facebook at Facebook.com. So choose on Suck Podcast. We're on Twitter at X. MTS Podcast on Instagram. MTS Podcast. You guys want to give us a few shekels, support our we have it or we have it. I don't know. Go to Patreon.com/You Suck. If you guys also want a shirt like one Neil's wearing right there, go to go to bonfire.com/choosing Suck and something to do. We're also W2mnet.com, W2mnet.com. You'll find their podcast along with a bunch of other really cool ones. And if you guys are watching us on YouTube and subscribe, watch Facebook, like the page, And if you're watching this, and if you guys want just want to subscribe to the podcast, I'm sure there's a button on the app you're listening to where you can subscribe for us, and we'll be there every day. We're Movies on Select Something. You can find us everywhere. Neil, what small business are we talking about today? What small business? You got one? You pulling it up? Oh, he's your belching.
Chris.
Yes, sir.
You know, this is such an article today because we're going to talk about a small pro wrestling company that became a huge pro wrestling company and then went out of business afterwards. So today, there's no way I could do this without talking about two of my favorite pro wrestling companies going on right now in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which is near Texas, only 3 hours away from where the Sportatorium was. And first, I'm going to talk about Wrestling Against Hunger. Wrestling Against Hunger is a wrestling federation that actually takes donations and helps the homeless here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. If you don't believe me, here's a picture of literally groceries that they have given out to people that are in need, families that are in need. And we're not just talking homeless, talking people that just can't make it at the end of the week. But they do that all through pro wrestling like this event coming up, which is called New Year's Revelation, which is January 6, 2024. It is at the Zion Community Church, 5400 Charles Page Boulevard, Tulsa, Oklahoma. You can watch them on the NNTV app on Roku, Amazon Fire, Android television, all that stuff, including one of our favorite people in the entire world will be wrestling as the tag team versus the Psychotic Messengers. It's his new tag team, the Hell's Kitchen, who are the tag team champions. Our friend, our buddy, Luchador. We love Luchador.
Yeah.
We love him so much that not only am I going to promote that for Wrestling Federation that Luchador is wrestling in, guess what, Chris?
What?
I am going to another wrestling promotion that he wrestles in, also in the Tulsa area. It is Majestic Championship Wrestling. Now, Majestic Champion Wrestling has an event coming up, New Year's Resolution, coming up on January 26th, where Luchador will be wrestling there. So will be the Psychotic Messengers, as you saw, and my friend Luke Bryan. Logan Bryan, I'm sorry. Also look at it like they are going to be at the Indian Community Center, 23725 Wilson Road, Hanyati, Oklahoma, 74437. That's on January 27th. So make sure to go to either one of these wrestling shows. Both of them need money. Look at that. That's a good, legit wrestling, right?
Neil knows good legit wrestling.
That's a good legit wrestling ring as well. These companies are just two small promotions that are putting together nice wrestling for you and your family. It's cheap. It doesn't cost a lot. It costs $15 at the door. And let's be honest, what can you go do for $50? You can't even go to the movies anymore for $15.
That's true.
So go out, check out both Majestic Wrestling Company and Wrestle Against Hunger. You can find them at facebook.com/Wrestling Against Hunger and facebook.com/Majestic Wrestling. Have a good day. Please drive through second window.
So we're talking about poor things. Real quick, I need you to say something for me. Say Yorgos Lanthimos.
What?
Say Yorgos Lanthimos.
Your ghost gets laid the most?
No. Yorgos Lanthimos.
What?
That's the director of the movie Poor Things. So make sure you say it correctly. Yorgos.
No. What? How do you say it?
Yorgos Lanthimos.
Yorgos
Lanthimos. Good job. That's
okay. So your ghost is what I'm going to call him the whole time.
Okay. Yeah. Yorgos Lanthimos. He directed such things as Dogtooth, which was not in the best picture, The Lobster, which I love. The Lobster, The Favorite, I love The Favorite, and he also directed The Killing of a Sacred Deer. I love The Killing of a Sacred Deer. Starring in Poor Things. This is written by Tony McNamara and Alistair Gray. This stars the wonderful, the amazing Emma Stone.
Nobody gives a shit but you.
Also, Willem Dafoe. Bella Stone plays Bella Baxter. Willem Dafoe plays Dr. Godwin Baxter.
Bid our father, the Sea King.
And also stars Mark Ruffalo as Duncan Wedderburn.
We don't have a choice, Robbie.
Also, and Rami Youssef plays Max McCandles.
Yuval, dude, you gotta fucking call me, man.
So this that also stars people like Catherine Hunter as Swiney, Vicky Pepperdine as Mrs. Prim, Christopher Abbott as Jared Carmichael as Harry Astley, and Hannah Shogola as Martha Van Kurtzrock. Why don't you go ahead and read the story for this one, Neil?
I knew you were going to ask that, and I totally forgot to load it up. Here we go. Sorry. From filmmaker
Yorgos Lanthimos
and producer Emma Stone, comes the incredible tale and fantastically evolution of Bella Baxter, a young woman brought back to life by the brilliant and unorthodox scientist Dr. Golden Baxter. Under Baxter's protection, Bella is eager to learn hunger for the worldness she is lacking. Bella runs off with Duncan Wedderburn, a slick and debauched lawyer, on a whirlwind adventure across the continents. Free from prejudice of her time, Bella grows steadfast in her purpose to stand for equality and liberation.
So I got something to say. Okay, so this the people describe this one as A24's Barbie, which I thought that was hilarious. But to me, like this, whenever I hear about directors, hold on, dude, just stop doing that face. When you're just doing a weird face. Whenever I hear about directors using other people's material, I get a little weary. But then I forget Yorgos Lanthimos when you use other people's material. He makes it fucking weird and awesome. I love this movie. This was the favorite movie I've seen this year. 100% easy. Like, you know. Okay, so yeah, but anyway, the first I want to say that I love the atmosphere, the steampunk atmosphere. I love the acting. And you know, Neil said he saw, I think, 5 people walk out of this thing.
Five people, no less than 5 people. More people could have walked out, but no. Right as soon as the Apple went up the U-Haul, like literally, everybody, like people are just like fucking done.
Okay, so this movie's about liberation. It's about freedom. It's about doing what the fuck you want. And I fucking love this movie, dude. This is my favorite movie I've seen this year. Easy. And we'll do our top 10 in a couple weeks, but right now I fucking love this thing, and I walked out loving this thing. And each day that's gone by since I've seen it, I just thank God for Yorgos Lanthimos that he's alive and made this movie. I wasn't disappointed at all. In fact, I was
when I overthought it. Are you ready for my overthought?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's
fucking a baby.
Well, we can talk about that a little bit. So you think it's well? Do you think by the end of the movie she was a baby though? She was talking like
she was at least 12.
No, she was talking like grown-ass woman. At least like
she was no. It only made her mature more because of what she could do at such a younger age. But still, she wasn't gone for more than 10 years, bro. She was gone for like
a couple months, right? Yeah, a couple months,
maybe a year or two,
right?
You know, because they did get, you know, they did what they did. But and that was the one thought that kind of messed with me a little bit. But then I was like, I went and read about the author about this and stuff like that, and you know, and the guy's like over 100 years, like he passed away years ago. And I mean, he was in his 80s when the director got his permission to even do this movie. But literally, besides that thought, if you don't think of it like that way, then this is an absolutely fucking great movie. It was good. It was cool.
Tell me you didn't love the atmosphere, like the set design, the traveling part of it, which you and I are big about world building.
The sets, the world building. I mean, to the point that give me a second, right there, boom. Like everything I have that's behind us is literally different sets from this damn movie. Like all of this. Oh, you can't even see the boat. on that one. But like literally, and I even, for people that are watching, there are a few right now, a couple of visuals here. The only thing wasn't just the characters. The characters are great.
Mhm.
Emma was great.
Fantastic. She was
Mark freaking Ruffalo.
Dude, he
was
plays
like-
such a scumbag, dude.
He plays such a
a
scumbag, slapstick, like physical comedy. I mean, these characters were amazing.
Emma Stone was amazing in this movie. I love that she wants to do shit like this. She wants to do weird shit, and I'm all for it. This is amazing.
Yeah, and like the view of the camera, like where it looks like you're looking out a peephole every now and then.
It reminded me a little bit.
Weird.
It remind me a little bit of Wes Anderson, how everything was set up in that aspect. So one of the things I noticed.
I mean, you know what this this is what I thought. Okay, give me 2 seconds, and then because you talked for like 10 minutes, so give me 2 seconds here.
Okay.
All right. I believe this was like Stanley Kubrick meets BioShock Infinity meets weird porno fetish, and like it was all slapped together, and that's what we got. Like literally, because some of these scenes were just ridiculous. Like the views here, the scenery of how it looks, how she looked, like it just was. You could not, like every part of the movie, just like
it made it. And
it made it. The colors, the scenery, the lighting, like you felt like you're in a completely different fucking world. Now, all the people that left because of all the fucking and the weird
there's
stuff.
lots of fucking in this movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking. There is a lot of fucking.
There's only a little bit of this erotic, because the other part you're kind of like, what the fuck's going on? But there's some of you're like, that's kind of hot. Yeah, there's
But the thing is, like how you kind of like, if you're watching it because you're trying to watch an art piece, she gets bored with the fucking just as much as you do with the fucking in the movie. Like, unless you're a sicko that's just watching it to jerk off.
No,
But,
like they do it smartly. You know, like
Yeah.
it's very smart the way they do it, and there's a ton of it. But well, Neil has that joke saying that Emma Stone has sense of humor while doing it, which I can imagine. Just doing something as when you're doing dude, I can't say enough good things about this movie. Like my wife said, it walks the thin line between porn and art. And I'm like, I think it's more art than porn, but
no, there's some porn in here. I mean, it's naked and stuff like that. But guess what, guys? That's okay.
Yeah.
Because it's okay to see naked bodies and stuff like that. That's not against anything. There's not any rule in any book that says you're not allowed to be naked in public.
Not yet.
But seriously,
this movie, man, I'm glad I got to see it before the end of the year, because this is my favorite movie I've seen this year. Easy. Well, not easy. It's up there.
Barbie by far is still way better than this.
I'm stacking. I'm stacking.
I'm great. I'm great. I don't know how many people walk out of Barbie, but
I know some people did. They had to have, man. It's when we talk about liberation and giving women their fair shake. Not everyone's be cool with that. I'm sure Republicans walked out of this. I'm sure there's some Republicans who walked out of Barbie. But,
I'm sure what happened, and I think this is what happened. It was the day after Christmas.
Oh, so the fan was like, "Let's go see a movie with Emma Stone in it."
No. There's no family.
Okay.
It was by any means. I'm pretty sure the people at the desk, if somebody saw a kid trying to get a ticket for this, was like, boobs, lots of boobs.
Mm-hmm.
But
and lots of men's asses too. So don't get, if you guys are about boobs, there's lots of dudes. You see some penises.
Oh yeah, you see a lot of junk. So going into this movie, just know you're gonna see junk, you're gonna see boobs, you're gonna see people are gonna be naked and they're gonna be fucking.
Yeah,
and that's just the bottom line. All right, and it's okay
because
that's natural.
Yeah.
Guess what's not natural? Murder. That's not natural. But guess what's natural? Naked bodies. Anyway, I don't want to.
Furious jumping.
Yeah. Anyway, but this movie was just, it took an artistic look on everything, on the prospects of women, men, and patriarchy, and like
Liberation.
literally, yeah, it is the R-rated version of Barbie, except for everybody has genitals.
It's fucking weird. You guys, like, I can't say this enough. It's a weird movie, but me and Neil, we like weird. We like
fucked up movies. If it's not fucked up, then what's the point of watching it?
I mean,
I like
there's some
things
movies-
that test people to the point that they literally walk out of the fucking theater.
Yeah,
That just it made
Yeah,
me
Neil-
so much happy because
Neil
they
texted
walked
me.
out of the fucking theater.
Neil texted me. He's like, 5 people just walked out, and I was like,
And there was
wondering-
two different groups, bro. There was
Yeah.
a couple that was sitting in front of me, because I was in the last row. I always sit in the last row because I
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
write notes and stuff like that. And so there's two that sat right in front of me, and then I saw three. Like after they saw the two leaving, they're like, "Yeah, we done too." And
Can I talk about the score of this movie? Like, it was all like instruments I've never heard before. They're playing a weird fucked up melody. I really enjoyed the music in this and how it was used. It was put in perfectly. Oh,
yeah,
man.
yeah. I mean, the artistic backgrounds, the music, the characters. This is one of those movies that it's fucked up, and believe me, it's awesome. It's one of those that it will go down in one of those ones that if someone has a DVD collection, this would be one of them that of the year that I'll
Yeah.
definitely throw in the year. The
Poor
yearly
Things
DVDs.
is if this came out in 2023, and that makes 2023 even better when it comes to movies. We saw a lot of good movies this year, and this is one of them. Poor Things, man, dude. I cannot say enough things about this movie. That how much I was coming out of it. I'm like, this is why I watch movies. That was one of those things. Like I know last week I said that Wonka is the reason I like movies, and this is like the opposite reason. But why I love movies, and Poor Things is great. It makes me can't wait till Yorgos does next. He actually has a movie coming out next year, if I'm not mistaken. So we get 2 of these Yorgos films within the span of a year, and I'm very happy about that. So,
Me 3-ish.
all right, man. Do you have quotes of this? I bet you have quotes.
Of course I do. Of course I do. Come. You did do puzzles as children, didn't you? Do you believe in God? Do you mean me or a deity? With the mind of the unemployed, he was the mind of an.
Sorry, guys.
He was the mind of an unexplained mind. Sorry, somebody messaged me in the middle of this saying, God lovely like death force. Well, God lovely like dog face. Woof woof. What did you do to her? Tell her we are. I will go. I can't read what I said there. Okay, just edit that part. All right.
Yeah, well.
To have a sexual experience, I would need every electro from the entire northern London. Are you 5 years old? You want to hold your water? You need to hold your water. You did see me working on myself to get happiness, right? I will smash his fucking head in. Why don't people do this all the time? It's only you I do ferocious jumping with. You disappeared. No one can just happen. What the fuck? Why keep it in my mouth if it's revolting? I must go punch that baby. Stop talking because your sound's making Bella annoyed. There's no evidence, as God would say. What's between you and me is more needed than what's between my legs. Come, I'm best drinking heavily, and I'm best losing heavily. You don't know. Oh, no, never mind. I was trying to hurt you, and I understand I see dumb, beautiful ignorance. I do believe my actions come from a good place. Shut the fuck up. You smell okay. All right, let's fuck. We are a madam you feed with compliments. We are a machine you feed with compliments and chocolates. I bring beady eyes and badgering questions. My father told me always carve with convention. He was a fucking idiot. He was the root of all unhappiness. If I was to list the ways you wrong me, Jesus Christ, it would burn your fucking head in with a bat. I'd rather you shoot me in the fucking face, and I'm never happier than I am when I'm here. There you go.
All right. My score on this is a 4.8. I lean towards 4.9. I fucking love this movie. Like, it's been a while since I give something that high, but I fucking love this movie. You know, what's your score on this one?
The score on this one has to be a whopping I got to give it a 4.4, man. I think this is one of the better movies of the year. I'm not going to lie. I liked it a lot. I'm just looking at my score and just like holding on to it for a minute because I don't know because I got to do my end of the year thing still.
Yeah.
And
I give it a couple more days before you make your list and submit it in. So I'm doing the same thing. I had a preliminary list and now I'm changing it around a bit. But
yeah, and then we got New Year's, and I got like freaking pay-per-view this weekend, and I got and now I'm working a bunch more for doing sports, so I got to do some producing sports shows. Yay!
Sports.
Yay!
Okay, all right. I'm on RottenTomatoes.com. What's the audience score for Poor Things?
The audience, man, I don't know, man, because I saw some of the audience walk out. I don't know, dude. I'm gonna have to say 72%.
82%. So.
Okay.
Okay. What's the critic score for Poor Things?
91%.
93%.
None of it.
Okay,
I thought it was gonna be 2 off.
Critics' consensus is wildly imaginative and exhilaratingly over the top. Poor Things is a bizarre, brilliant tour de force for director Yorgos Lanthimos and star Emma Stone. I'm going to read a bad review and a good review. Okay. I've read some bad reviews for sure. This is from Rex Reed, The Observer. He gives it 1 out of 4 stars. He says, I hated it, but we're going to give it 1 star for whimsical sets and costumes. There's a minute sprinkle of suspense while you wait for the point of view that never arrives. What an asshole. Fucking hated it. And this is actually from hold on, another pulled up. What this is from? Okay, this is from Adam Graham in Short News. He says the grand buffet of a film, likely the year's most audacious effort, and certainly one at its best, comes from visionary director Yorgos Lanthimos, and his most out there film yet. So, yeah, guys, go out and see this. It'll be hanging around for a bit. I guarantee when the Oscars come around and it's gone, it'll come back up because this movie deserves to be seen by people who can watch award shit and not get grossed out. It's a fantastic.
They're just
film.
boning. They just put the penis in the vagina.
Yeah,
It's okay.
This is full of fucking. If you guys don't like fucking, I guess you won't like this movie. That's fine.
That's the bottom line. Chris doesn't like fucking, so he didn't like this movie.
What are you talking about? But yeah. You know, are you pulling news? You ready for news? You put that press that button with news.
I already did it, bro.
Let's do it. Let's fuck do it.
This is the movies that don't suck and some of them news. News, where I'm going to read stuff to Chris because he's blind in one eye and uses a visor just like Jordy from the new generation.
I don't think I'm blind in one eye. I mean, at least I don't think I am. Sometimes at night, I'm like, I you know, whatever.
Dude, you look like Popeye right now.
But
just saying, you look like fucking Popeye. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. All right, news. Let's talk about the big one of the week. Are you ready for the big one?
Fuck yeah.
I don't know if you heard this one. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Vin Diesel has been accused of sexual battery and discrimination and creating a hostile work environment against his former assistant. Allegedly, he committed sexual battery assault against his former assistant, Austin Johnson, during the shooting of Fast 5 back in September of 2010. The lawsuit claims that Diesel forcibly groped and molested his assistant and forced her to touch his erect penis.
Ugh. So if this happens, I think that maybe his production company might pull out making Fast 11, right?
Well, Johnson was fired right after the alleged incident, whatever the incident was, and the
yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know.
I'm looking at who says this. Vin Diesel's lawyer, Brian Freeman, said, "Let me be clear. Vin Diesel categorically denies the claim in its entirety. This is the first he has ever heard about this more than 13-year-old claim made by a properly 9-day employee. This is clear evidence which completely refutes that the outlandish allegations."
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens, right?
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But
yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
obviously not that fast or furious.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta be honest, I won't be super upset if I don't see Fast X Part 2 or whatever. Like, I'll be like, you know, it's gonna happen. You know, I can imagine what happens. You know.
James Gunn is tired of you motherfuckers out there just to like saying whatever the hell you want to say about whatever. Batman 2 does not have Professor Pig, Scarecrow, Clayface, Hush, and Dick Grayson in it. That's the Batman 2 is not anything like that, he says. Stop saying stuff. Stop being dumb.
It'll be Joker, right? Because we saw Barry Keoghan do the Joker thing at the end of it. You know?
Who knows?
Okay. All right.
Lionsgate closes deal to acquire E1 from Hasbro with a couple big franchises that it got big.
Like
so
what?
Lionsgate has now acquired over 6,500 titles, including the rights to the Transformers and Monopoly.
I'm trying to think if a Monopoly movie would be any good, and the only way we can do that is to give it to Greta Gerwig and show me something cool out of it.
It doesn't have to be Greta Gerwig. All right, she did a great job with Barbie, but there can be different versions of, like, you can make Monopoly, but make it like Billions or Succession or Suits. You know what I'm talking about? Like, make it like that. Like, are you trying to take my Broadway? You know, like, you know, I'll see you in court.
You can make a financial thriller, I think, right? Like, you could do that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just think about it. I mean, think of all those cards that you play with, like, you know, get a lawyer or go to jail, blah, blah, blah.
You mean that game where you almost lose, like, friendships and relationships with your family?
Yes.
You're 7 hours in.
But also in this deal, they got Yellow Jacket. They got, what else did they get? They got something else. The Rookie, Naked and Afraid franchises. So, I mean, that's a lot of fucking good franchises to pick up.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
X-Men 97 titles have been revealed. X-Men 97 is the cartoon series that is starting where the last one took off. It's, To Me, My X-Men. Mutant Liberation Begins. Fire Made Flesh. Montino, Remember It. Bright Eyes. Shine with Strength Reborn. Tolerance is Extinction Part 1 and 2 and 3.
So, where's it airing? Because I know that Leah and me will be interested in seeing these.
These are going to be on Disney Plus. They have not given the exact date yet, I don't think. Let me look through it. Oh, March 27th.
I'm sure you'll be there too. I'm sure you'll be watching this along with us.
Dude, I know. Have you watched the What Ifs?
Not yet. So much.
Oh my God, they're so good. I'm halfway through. I got 2 more. I think well, more than halfway. I'm just got 2 more left. Producer says that Chris Rock would love to continue his journey down the spiral path with the Saw people.
It'd be nice if his movie was really good, but it wasn't.
Spiral from the Book of Saw is widely regarded as one of the worst horror movies ever made, but Chris Rock is still down with making a sequel.
I was excited about it, and then I saw it, and I was no longer excited about it.
This past week, Apple Plus TV has now got its most watched movie ever, and The Family Plan with Mark Wahlberg.
I forgot that existed. I mean,
it just came out like 2 weeks ago, bro.
The thing is about Apple Plus is like Apple. I don't really watch TV, so I don't know how advertising gets out. But I feel like they need to do more to get people to watch it. You know,
the best thing though about Apple Plus, though, are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Everything on there is watchable.
Yeah,
they don't have one thing that's shitty. Like everything. I watched The Family Plan. I watched it like 3 days ago, actually. I was just sitting around and I was like, oh, we're definitely not going to watch this because Chris hates Mark Wahlberg. And
I didn't say that. I mean,
you say it every time we review one of his movies.
I mean, wait till we talk about Departed. I love The Departed. He says it. But
anyway. Chris hates people from Boston, so therefore, literally, we couldn't review this movie. So I was like, "Oh fuck it, I'll watch it." And
I think we talked about Wahlberg in a movie before, but
it was a really good movie. It was really.
Is
funny.
It a family movie?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, it's because it's the whole he's a dad and he used to be like a hitman, and then like the hitman world gets up to him, and it's kind of a comedy / action. Like, his family doesn't even know he's a hitman, and he's like killing people while they're on family vacation. So it's like National Lampoon meets like True Lies would be like the best way to say this together.
Is this his True Lies though?
Yeah, this is his True Lies. It's really good, dude. I was pretty happy with it. Finally, we have the highest merchandise property ever from Star Wars to go. It went for $1.5 million a prop, which has made it the most expensive prop sold at an auction. And it is from Star Wars: A New Hope.
You want to guess what it is?
Yes.
It's not a lightsaber. I've imagined the lightsaber that.
No, it's not the lightsaber. It's not the lightsaber.
Is it a helmet?
You're close to be in that same era of lightsaber stuff.
Is it a helmet?
No.
It's a blaster.
It's a gun. It's a
blaster. It's a blaster.
Yeah, it's a blaster.
It's Han Solo's blaster.
Han Solo's blaster went for $1.5 million.
Quick question.
It broke the Guinness World Record as the most expensive prop gun sold at auction.
Did he shoot first?
Yes.
Okay.
He shot first, god damn it. Sad news. Another sad thing happened. Lee Sun-kun died from Parasite. He was, one of the most award-winning movies, like 2 years ago.
We liked Parasite quite a bit.
Oh yeah, we loved it a bunch. He committed suicide. Remember, folks, if you have some thoughts like that in your head, there are suicide numbers. Please find help. Please find help somewhere. Call me. I'll talk to you for hours. Yeah. Chris knows I'll talk to you for hours, even if we have nothing in common. So please do. But sadness out to him and all his family. There will not be a rush to make a sequel for Godzilla -1. They are going to work on it carefully because they don't want to fuck it up. Fans are screaming for a sequel because of how good the movie Godzilla Minus One was. Me and Chris both enjoyed it
Quite a bit, yeah.
very thoroughly, quite a bit. But they're very like, hey, dude, that took a few years. We're already working on an animated movie. We're already working on. There's the show going on Apple Plus that I didn't start watching called Monarch. That is about that.
Oh, yeah.
Kurt Russell's in it.
Oh shit. Okay.
And I was like, I was gonna start watching that this week too, to some point. But so they want to work on it slow. Hey man, if they get it before I die, at least if I get to see it, I get to see it.
I mean, yeah, I always wonder, like, that'll come out before I probably like pass. You know, like, so I'm excited about. So Killer Clowns.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space is getting a streaming miniseries. The 1980s cult classic will be on a streaming service, according to director Stephen Chade. Hopes to reveal Killer Clowns from Outer Space as an 8-part miniseries for streaming, continuing the story of the original characters and introducing new talent.
That movie scared the living piss out of me when I was a kid. I didn't want to get shot with a cotton candy gun. Terrified by it, but
Marvel Studios will reportedly still be ending the multiverse saga with King the Conqueror.
Okay, so they're done to do King and the Conqueror. Okay, so you and I think you should recast him, right? Like, do you think that's what they're gonna do?
It says that a King variant played by a different character will more likely happen, or they might switch it over to Doctor Doom being a part of it and stealing his powers. That's literally what their ideas are at this point.
Okay, well, we'll wait.
We'll wait. Timothy Chalamet's Wonka is the best Rotten Tomatoes audience score of all the Wonkas.
I mean, there are 2 Wonkas, right? Or there are 3. There are 3, right? There are 3 Wonka films.
Well, I mean, there's Willy Wonka, there's Charlie and Chocolate Factory, and Wonka.
Yeah, okay. Well, I like Wonka quite a bit. You and I both actually loved Wonka.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Once you really want some chocolate after that happened, I got plenty of chocolate for Christmas, so I'm feeling good about that.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not happy with it.
You never had chocolate? He says that to the noodle. He's like fucking incredulous about it.
Are you?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to find the other things you pulled up.
Henry Cavill's Warhammer 40,000 universe is officially on the way. The signatures have been signed, and Amazon Studios will be doing it with him. Games Workshop and Amazon Studios aim to adapt the insertion and intention lore of Warhammer 40,000 into visual storytelling with multiple storylines potentially explored.
We're gonna get a bunch of angry emails from nerds saying 40K. So
40K. It says 40,000K on here. Sorry about that, guys.
So real quick, it turns out that Henry Cavill's a giant nerd, right? It's a giant geek. That Henry Cavill.
We knew this from the beginning.
Okay, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
I mean, who didn't know that from the beginning? I knew it from the beginning when we started.
Superman and fucking Witcher. Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Once banned film The People's Joker is getting a theatrical release. The People's Joker, a queer coming-of-an-age superhero world parody, was pulled from the TIF due to copyright issues. The People's Joker, a once banned queer parody film, is getting a theatrical release on April 5th. The dark comedy follows Joker, the Harley Quinn, a struggling clown dealing with gender identity in a world where comedy is outlawed. The People's Joker was created as a DIY community project for queer artists, featuring over 200 prominent queer creators.
So, when did this come out? Like, when was it
coming out? April 5th.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, you definitely want to see it, I'm sure.
Definitely. I want to see anything that's got banned from other places. I want people to tell us no, and then I'll be like, okay.
Apparently, it has Bob Odenkirk in it, Scott Ackerman, Maria Bamford, Tim Heidecker, like really funny people in it. Cool. All right.
Everybody's favorite new Jack Gyllenhaal movie that they haven't seen yet, Roadhouse, will be hitting streaming platform Amazon on March. Where's that? March 21st, 2024. The movie with him and Conor McGregor, the famous UFC champion, will be on Amazon Prime Video. So make sure to watch out for Jake Gyllenhaal, Conor McGregor, and Roadhouse.
You won't watch that. We'll definitely watch that.
Of course, we're going to watch it.
Are you a big fan of the original Roadhouse? Is that something that you hold in high regard?
Roadhouse. Everybody, Emerald Fennell wants you to know DC Santana is dead in the water. It will not happen ever again. Peter Safran declares that Jason Momoa is the only Aquaman in the DCU, and he will probably still be Aquaman in the future, even if there is no Aquaman in the movies.
Guys, we're probably doing Aquaman next week. Aquaman and Rebel Moon next week. So, yeah.
John Cena's critically panned shitty movie of all time, The Marine, is now become one of the global's most popular action movies because of Netflix.
Well,
it has
John
been
Cena.
seen over 7.6 million hours viewed by over 5 million viewers.
Weren't you one of the ones that said it was really shitty? Like you're like
Me and my dad started laughing so hard at it that it was ridiculous. We started laughing so much. I can't even remember how much we laughed, but we were just like,
did you laugh more than when you and I are together? So we laugh a lot when we're together.
Yes, me and my dad laughed. We were taking shots of whiskey like every couple of seconds, laughing at it.
You know, when you come back down here, we need to go Rhythm and Booze.
Rhythm and Booze. I haven't seen that place in such a long time. All right, Jordan Peele's next two movies now lost 2024 releases. They're all going to be pushed back to 2025 because of all the the strikes. And They all got pushed back. Ben Stiller, are you ready for this? Ben Stiller to star in his first starring role in over 6 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And David Gordon Green's Nutcrackers.
Okay. I mean, he was the last starring role was Zoolander 2, right? I forgot
What's that?
Was the last starring role was Zoolander 2? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Probably, yeah, I'm going to say. Nutcrackers follows the work-based Mike, played by Stiller, who must reluctantly travel to rural Ohio to look after his 4 rambunctious nephews after their parents die in a car accident. What begins as a 3-day trip to find a foster care turns into weeks of farm life mayhem and the realization that he doesn't need to find them a home. They have found one for him.
Oh, I don't know how this movie goes.
Last but not least, Scream 7 is still just fucked. The director is now out. The director's like, I'm done. I'm out. He said, end quote, Christopher Landon said, it is a dream job that turned into a nightmare.
I bet, man. Like you got these people that like everyone thought that Scream was back, and then that you drop then you can't have who you want, and they're like, nah, like why would I see this? But we like Christopher Landon. He's a Happy Death Day and Freaky, and Happy Death Day to You, and now that he's not there, I don't think anyone cares to see it.
He said, I guess now is a good time to announce I formally exited Scream 7 weeks ago. This will disappoint some and delight others. It was a dream job and it turned into a nightmare. My heart did break for everyone involved. Everyone, but it's time to move on. I have nothing more to add to the conversation other than I hope Wes Craven's legacy thrives and lives above the din of a divided world. What him and Kevin created is something amazing, and I was honored to have the briefest moment basking in their glory.
Talk about classy. You know what I mean? Like
That is a classy fucking individual. I want to
So-
go up and kind of give him a hand job.
I mean, would he? We'll have to know if he'll. I mean, I mean, honest, if I saw you coming in wanting to give me a hand job, I'd probably have to back away. It's
You're not into it. You're
politely
you're like,
decline.
no, the weirdo's coming.
Yeah.
What is he doing?
I was gonna get my car, walk through the door, and you'd be like, "Hold on, you're not coming. I want to get a hand job." I'm like, I don't want one from you,
I want a
especially.
hand job. I don't want you to handy my jobby. But anyway, Chris, that's the news.
Okay, let's do the wrong one. I'm a little drunk, so.
That's the movies have sunk in some of them news. I told Chris a bunch of stuff. He has to like it, or he finds a new co-host.
Well, I mean, I like it. I don't think I could have, like, honestly, our names are in the theme song. If you exited or I exited, it'd be just a completely different show altogether.
That would be funny. You'd have to edit it, and then it'd be like, "Here's a show with Chris and another guy." You know, whatever.
I might just do it by myself and you're super sad. They're like, this is the super sad man show. But all right,
Chris, you're...
let's talk about that Iron Claw. Directed by Sean Durkin. Sean Durkin has directed such things as he hadn't directed a lot, but he directed this, and along with The Nest, Deadbringers, which is a TV show, Martha Macy May Marlene, and this is stars the ever sexy. I mean, he's in this movie, especially Zac Efron.
Roast before hose.
Also, he plays sorry, my shit's all fucked up. He plays Kevin Von Erich. Jeremy Allen White plays Kerry Von Erich.
Robotics.
Also, Harris Dickinson plays David Von Erich.
So your intention was to pay me back.
Also, Maura Tierney plays Doris Von Erich.
Oh my God, I'm not having this conversation with you.
Audrey, you can't.
And also, Holt McCann Colony plays Fritz Von Erich.
Robert Paulson.
He's a man, and he's dead now because of us. All right, do you understand that?
I understand.
Neil, wants you, and this also stars some actually wrestlers in this one. It's got Chavo Guerrero Jr. as the Sheik.
What was his name again?
Chavo Guerrero Jr.
Chavo. Very good.
Chavo.
Yes, Chavo
I know
Guerrero.
Chavo. I know
And
his
it's
dad too.
Guerrero.
I know his dad.
Guerrero, not Guerrero.
I know his dad, Chavo Guerrero. Just yeah.
No,
anyway.
you don't.
Red Shoes Dugan. Yeah. I know only because of the Mount Goat song, but you know, let's read the storyline for the Iron Claw.
The Iron Claw. The true story of the inseparable Von Erich brothers, who made history in an intensely competitive world of professional wrestling in the early 1980s. Through tragedy and triumph, under the shadow of their...
You right?
Yeah, I'll tell you why it's funny in a second. I'm starting it all over. 5,
Yeah.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
The true story of the inseparable Von Erich brothers, who made history in the intensely competitive world of professional wrestling in the early 1980s. Through tragedy and triumph, under the shadow of their demurring father and coach, the brothers seek larger-than-life immortality on the biggest stage in sports.
I'll let you start, Neil. This is a movie that you were.
All right, first, the reason that's funny is because the WWE DVD of the WCC which is World Class Championship Wrestling, is called The Tragedy and Triumph of World Class Championship Wrestling.
Okay.
And they used it in their explanation of the movie, which is kind of funny. So it's like, oh, I wonder where he got all the facts for this fucking movie from.
All right. So
But anyway,
I'll let you start this one, Neil. Go ahead. Start it out.
first off, going in as a wrestling fan, I knew, again, this is like going in if you're a Batman fan to a Batman movie. You gotta 100% put your ego at the door and not try to expect the exact thing that you want to expect. You know, like you know, there's still not been my Batman has never been on TV, never been on a movie. You know,
Mhm.
my Joker has never been on a movie, you know, or TV. Same thing with how I would describe the Von Erich life and what went on. I feel like they were being nice about the Von Erichs.
Yeah, I would say that because I did a little diving after this.
Oh, really? You want me
Yeah.
to send you some great interviews?
Dude, they left out one Von Erich brother, like a whole guy, a whole man, and they just left him out of the movie.
Yeah,
What
right
the
here.
fuck?
So, and I understand maybe it's for timing or something like that. Then maybe not. I don't know. I feel like they could have fit it in there somehow. Like they could have fit it in there. But the problem is that his story is like two different people combined story together. I mean, this is kind of like what they did with Pam Morrison, I guess. I think that was her name, Pam Morrison, Jim Morrison's girlfriend.
Okay.
You know, in Oliver Stone's The Doors, that
Yeah.
she was actually a representative of like 5 different women, and the evil witch lady was
he's
like
a Von Erich brother. He's a
yeah,
whole
but like
fucking
so what
brother.
they did is the director once actually called Kevin Von Erich
Mhm.
and said, "Hey, dude, I can't put this brother in there because I don't have the time to tell all of this." And he goes, and on top of that, he goes, "It kind of exactly sounds like what happened with your other brother anyway." And they thought it would be too dark to bring that much suicide.
I gotta say, man, this movie is a lot of it's a big bummer of a movie. You're like,
Yeah, because it is a big bummer. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
and the thing is, they had high times.
Yeah.
They had times that, like, to me, I feel like this movie should have been rising action, falling action, rising action, falling action, and then
What did you think of the guy who played Ric Flair, though? Woo!
all right. So, this is okay. Just like how any impersonator does not look like the person they're trying to impersonate. Jim Carrey did not look like Andy Kaufman. You know, a pro wrestler is even harder to impersonate than an actor. And the one thing about the Ric Flair character was like when he was in the ring, when he's back in the locker room, fucking looked magnificent. Looked great. Spot on, bro. I was all about him. But if at any time when he had to do like the interview, when he was doing the interview as Ric Flair, that looked kind of cartoonish.
Mm.
Like someone's doing an imitation of Ric Flair, you know, and stuff like that. But to be honest, after all the complaints I just said, this was a really good movie.
I want to talk about how great Zac Efron was in this.
Zac Efron, Jeremy Allen White, Holt McKinley, and the mom, Mariah
Mortini
was great. They all were trained by Chavo Guerrero to be Chavo Guerrero Jr. actually trained them all.
Yeah.
Because he trains movie wrestlers. So anytime anything like the Young Rock or anything like that happens, Chavo Guerrero is usually the guy.
I remember seeing the photos of when they were filming this and seeing how fucking insane the arms of Zac Efron were, because he transformed himself to be this character. You know what I mean? He really threw himself into this, and you can see that while watching this movie.
There you go.
Yeah.
Side by side, bro. There's
Yeah.
Kevin Von Erich next to Zac Efron.
Yeah, and it's insane how they both look. Like Zac Efron's never looked that cut and big. It's scary looking, dude. Because
There's the whole family. You know, Billy, David. David's the saddest one because in wrestling lore,
Mhm.
it wasn't a stomach problem. In wrestling lore, he OD'd.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
In wrestling lore, he OD'd, and then Daddy, who Fritz Von Erich, had enough pull with the press and all of that, because you got to understand, at the time that this Von Erich thing was going on, WWF did not exist.
Yeah.
It did, but it was just a territory. Everybody knew that the three big territories at this time was Texas Promotional Wrestling, or WCCW, AWA, NWA, and those were it. Those were like, there's Smoky Mountain and there's Stampede, Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and there's Stampede Wrestling up in Canada. But like, this was like one of the biggest. I mean, Andre the Giant came through, Jake the Snake Roberts, Roddy Piper, Stone Cold Steve Austin started in that fucking ring. You know,
Yeah.
like this is like one of the biggest or most famous wrestling arenas in all of sports wrestling history. And the story of these guys is one of the most tragic. But the thing is, it's like Bohemian Rhapsody. Bohemian Rhapsody, great movie. But guess what, man? The things didn't happen in order. Like the motorcycle ride that Kerry loses his leg on. This is a good part right here. That didn't happen right after he won. That happened like 2 years later. He already lost the belt. He only held that belt for 13 days.
Wow.
He lost it back to, like, it was they're giving it to Kerry because originally plans were that David, even though David was, and I say this the nicest way possible, I'm just saying David as in what he looked like compared to what today's wrestlers look like. He was he's the one all the way on the end in the white robe.
Yeah.
He does not look the best. He's not the cutest, best looking guy in the world. And he didn't work out as much as the other guys. He wasn't as super fit and, cut as the other ones. I don't think I have a black and white where he's got their. No, that's the entire Von Erich family. I thought I had one where he had his shirt off. But still, I mean, and so he was not like, but he was the best at pro wrestling. He was the guy. He knew how to do it.
He knew how to work a crowd and all that stuff.
Yeah, and well, it doesn't just that. He knew how to work the match. And therefore, he was, that's why they're going to give him the belt. And the only reason Kerry got the belt was because his brother died and they wanted to do it in his memory.
Yeah, so I like this movie because the acting we talked about was incredible.
The acting is great. The story that they did was great. It was not the story. It was not the actual story. I guess I just kept talking about wrestling too much. Let me talk about my actual view of this movie. The acting was great in this movie. The story was great. I bawled like a baby on the last words of this fucking movie. Like the last words of this movie, right before the lights came up, made me bawl like a little bitch. I was crying. I was like, and I'm sitting there wearing like a wrestling shirt, trying to, look tough, being in the corner of this theater that was absolute real packed theater. But I cried like a little baby. And the thing is, the whole movie I didn't cry because I knew, being a guy that knows the entire history of the Von Erichs, I knew before when I saw things that were super happy, I was like, oh, this super happy scene right here. I know it happens the exact next day.
So tell me about what you thought about Colt McCollum. Did he play Fritz Von Erich? Like, do you know Fritz Von Erich was that shitty of a person?
He was an asshole and a dick, and not many people like working with him at all. And he would do everything to fuck you over to make his kids over.
And he was heel, right? He played the fucking Nazi, right?
Here it is. You ready?
Yeah. Oh my god.
There it is.
Holy
there
shit.
it is. I picked one up just for you. So he originally was a Nazi, and then in the 70s, early 70s, he went from the Nazi character to being the family man, being the everyman family man.
Okay.
And they got rid of the Nazi character. But I mean, he was wrestling in the 30s, in the 40s and the 50s. He was wrestling in areas that, it made sense to be a bad guy because sometimes the bad guys make more money than the good guys.
So, when it comes to wrestling, I have a few questions. You probably know a little bit. Was this wrestling? Is this the Federation still around, or is it bought out by like the big guys?
Actually, it showed in the movie. It was bought out by the Garretts, if I remember. The Jarretts are Jeff Jarrett is a pro wrestler now. His dad, I knew you'd ask a question that I wasn't ready for. Let's see. It was. Give me 2 seconds. I'm getting it right now.
Sure. I always got them when I had the podcast. I'm like, my guys, Neil's just looking for stuff for me. Ask questions that he doesn't have up, even though he knew I asked them.
I know. I just don't want to say it right.
Yeah.
I mean, WWE owns all the rights to it now.
Okay.
Like, so you can, if you want to look at World Class and Championship Wrestling, if you have Peacock, you can go watch the Von Erichs. You can go watch the Fabulous Freebirds and stuff like that. So I believe Jeff Jarrett, his dad. Gosh dang it, who's Jeff Jarrett's dad? I think it's Jim Jarrett, but I don't want to lie to you and be wrong. And Jerry Jarrett. It's Jerry Jarrett.
Okay.
Jerry Jarrett bought it from them, and he was trying to do his wrestling and stuff like that. But that got bought out. He got bought out by Vince McMahon at some point.
So I do want to ask, as someone who's not a wrestling fan, do you still see them coming in and enjoying this movie?
Oh, definitely, because as much as it doesn't really reflect on the wrestling.
Yeah, it's not really about wrestling. It's really about
it reflects on just the tragedy of life. And I mean, to go through this movie, it is all about they got parts of the story wrong, and that's just what I'm complaining about as being a bitch. Like literally, just like any other person on the internet, I guess. But the thing is, the tragedy, the heartache, I think they could have done a little bit better on that. Maybe with the mom, maybe with how much it reflects. I think they showed it well for Kevin, but I mean, Kevin was fucked, man.
It's a fucking bummer of a movie, man. Like right from that first thing that shatters them to the end, you're like, God damn, like what are you gonna do? Like, and like you said, it's life. This stuff happened,
Yeah, I mean, I can sit here and go through people that I know that this kind of same thing happened to them, where they were one of many kids, and now they're alone. They're it.
Which is crazy. Like if you guys want to even more bummed out, like go read the Wikipedia. It exists in this, and you're like, fuck.
And or if you want to know, okay, this is my way to say this and to finish this discussion off and make it about the movie and not about the actual story. If you want to know the true story, go watch the Von Erichs Dark Side of the Ring, or go watch the DVD. That's a Dark Side of the Ring is available on Hulu, I think, and the DVD Tragedy and Triumph of the WCCW, the DVD, which is on Peacock under the WWE titles. If you go look, those are two, and those tells the exact story. Now, the movie itself, the acting was good, the arches were great. They told the story to a full fruition, but I think they could have made it just a little bit better. And the way I think they could have made it better was I think they needed to show how high the highs were.
It felt really stuffed also. Like I knowing that they got Chris is even crazier to know that it felt a little put together, like pushed together a bit. It and like you're saying, it could have used higher highs and not just being fucking shot through the heart every time something bad happened, because that's what it felt like.
Right.
It gets a little weird near the end there where they get sort of speculative a little bit. Like
I think they spent too much time on trying to build the world at the beginning. They were taking too long building the world. While Carrie is off doing the Olympics and all that stuff, they were too busy building the world. And then didn't give enough time for the
characters themselves.
the character themselves. Like the one character we got the most about was Kevin.
Yeah, absolutely. That
Kevin
was like,
Von Erich, they nailed that guy. They fucking got that down to a T. But I think they spent too much on building it up. And I think literally what I believe the way this movie should have gone is that it should have gone from when they start fighting with the Fabulous Freebirds, which is considered one of the greatest rivalries in all of pro wrestling ever, to the point where after that, the next thing should have been like, then here's the brothers, and shown all, because if you went from that, when they're at the high of the highs, where they're the biggest thing, where Texas Ranger Stadium is selling out with thousands of people, to where they're rock stars. They can't even go out of their fucking house without getting mugged from people, from how famous they were at Beatle level mania, and show that like starting from the go, and then show where it comes from there down. I think that would have been great.
But they didn't do that. They started from the very beginning, and it sort of feels different. I mean, the acting is fantastic. I won't knock the acting; it's good. But I do feel like we could have gotten a bit more character development on some of them. You know, especially Carrie, which he was a pretty incredible character as it was. But Carrie and David really,
I think Carrie needed more time. They didn't even talk about Carrie's family. They made him look like a loner. He had a family. In fact, his daughter was a TNA champion.
Yeah.
Lacey Von Erich. She was a champion over at TNA Wrestling. The two sons of Kevin Von Erich are now wrestling in AEW Wrestling.
All right. Again, we'll say the acting's good. We felt they could have done a bit different stories that would have made more sense. I think I kind of wish they'd fit in Chris, because Chris Von Erich existed.
There's Lacey Von Erich.
Yeah, her.
Hey, don't be a weirdo.
Sorry, but yeah, it was a bummer of a movie. You're gonna cut the walkout thinking, "Fuck, that was sad," and you're gonna look at
the thing is, it's not even the full story. If you want the full story, continue on, because there's still sad shit that happens to that family continuing from that.
To start, it's just the beginning. But Neil, why don't you go ahead and get some quotes on this, and we'll get out of here.
Your face will get out of here.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will snap his neck. The only way to beat it is to be the strongest, the fastest, and the best there is. I will be the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Ever since I was a kid, people said our family was cursed. Mom tried to protect it with God, my father with pro wrestling. Oh, yeah. And then the first people they showed wrestling against, Bruiser Brody and Chino Hernandez, were both murdered.
Oh, wow. Fuck.
Yeah, dude. Both those guys were murdered. So, yeah, that's another story in wrestling. Definitely. People, if you want a good document story, seriously, go see the Dark Side of the Ring stuff. Go watch it. It's not really about wrestling. It's really about the fucked up shit that happens behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. There are wrestlers that were murdered with bullets to the head that to this day the cops won't even touch the fucking case. They're just like, oh yeah, that happened magically. We don't know. We have no idea how that happened. You're supposed to say nice things like, nice to meet you, Pam. Someone called from ESPN offering a Saturday night slot. What do you want out of life, Kevin Von Erich? More ribs? You never heard the curse of the Von Erichs? This belt makes you a man. You're not a man. You're just a little boy acting like a man. I'm the champion. Me, Harley Race. If you put that down, son, someone else will pick it up. Terry, I want you to join your brothers in wrestling. This ain't about Georgia versus Texas. This is about filth against decency, and you know it. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I know how to cut that promo, motherfucker. I just love being out there with you guys. It's the only thing that matters to me in this world. Take those sunglasses off. You're not having it here. And no tears. You can't show them how weak you are.
Mm-hmm.
The only fair way is to flip a coin and let it decide. He will be safer that way, you know it. I have nothing to do with the new... I have no idea what it says. It was a terrible accident. It shouldn't have been in the ring in the first place. It's all my fault. I don't. Wow.
Neil's crying.
It was a very dark theater, guys.
Yeah. Neil's crying at this one, guys. So give him a break.
Here, can we get... Well, I can't even read that. I can't even read that one either. Damn, dude. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with him? Look at you, WWF Intercontinental Champion. I'm pain. I'm in pain. All the time I'm in pain. I'm deformed. I'm fucking cursed. And I just want to die. Yeah, Dad. You can cry. I cry all the time. What's the problem? Well, I used to be a brother, and I'm not a brother anymore. Oh, that line.
Yeah.
Oh, there's not 6 of them. There's 6 fucking of them, bro.
Yeah.
And like literally to say that you had 6 brothers at one point.
Yeah.
And you have none.
Why don't you go ahead and give your score on this one?
To the Von Erichs, I give them a 5.0, being one of the greatest wrestling teams of all time. Wait, let me finish what I'm saying.
Okay.
You don't interrupt someone. You don't interrupt The Rock when he's talking to you. I'll straight come out to you wrestling promo style, brother.
All right, finish it up.
Yeah. To the Von Erich family, I give you a 5.0 for having one of the hardest families of all time and tragedies and one of the craziest stories in this life. To the movie version of your story, I can't even give it a 4, man. I got to give it like a 3.9. I don't think the arch was correct for this movie. And not knocking the fact that they let out the brother. I understand they let out the brother, but the reason it's getting a 3.9 is 100% Zac Efron and Jeremy Allen White. Those
I'm actually
two,
with I want just with you. The acting for those two, the way they transform their bodies to be these characters is.
Yeah, I hope they win awards. I hope they win a ton of awards, but I don't think the full movie should, because I just don't think they did the arch correctly. I don't think they did I feel like this movie could have been more impactful if they made the highers higher and the lower lower. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, but we didn't get that. We got something else. But much respect to Zac Efron and Jeremy Allen White for doing exactly what they could do, and they did good. They did the best they could do.
And hands on for everybody doing this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I never thought I'd get a comic book movie with all these fucking comic book guys in them, let alone a wrestling movie about the fucking Von Erichs. I mean, the Von Erichs are like, I could sit here like literally just roll the tape for an hour and just sit here and talk to you about the Von Erichs. I won't do that because this is a movie podcast, not a wrestling podcast, which soon I will be releasing a wrestling podcast. I have it in the works. I have some new equipment I bought I got for Christmas that it's going to be coming my way, and I'm going to be doing that soon.
Exciting, right?
Yes, because I can talk wrestling for a decade.
You need stuff I sent you that you maybe asked for?
I didn't. Did I ask? I didn't ask for anything. I told you I didn't want to do.
I know, but did you see like your recommendations?
I have no idea what you're talking about this time, but this is for a conversation later.
Right.
You're gonna have to edit this out, Chris.
Yeah, I will. Okay, I'm on the RottenTomatoes.com. What is the audience score for the Iron Claw?
Man, I'm 74%.
93%.
Damn! They liked it more than I did, but maybe it's just because I know the story. That's probably the problem.
What's the Chris score for the Iron Claw?
86.
88. You're really close.
Damn it! Why am I too off?
Chris' consensus is powerfully acted and profoundly sad. The Iron Claw honors its fact-based story with a dramatization whose compassionate exploration of family ties is just as hard as hitting as action in the wrestling ring. So that's the score. I'm gonna do a good review, or I'm gonna do a bad review and a good review. This is from Alonso Duralde of Breakfast All Day. He says, "This movie feels really overstuffed. It doesn't slow down enough to really establish that much in terms of character." Okay, and this is from Charles Bermesco of Inside Hook. He says, for all the administrative shows of love for wrestling that come from Durkin, he also identifies it as a mortally injured force to those who practice it, conflates the game itself with Fritz's malignant approach to it. So he was showing that basically, when you're a wrestler, you fuck yourself up, and they let you know that when watching the Iron Claw.
Yeah, I mean, that's a true story. The whole point of being a wrestler is like literally every night you go outside and you beat yourself up for other people's entertainment.
Yeah,
it is 100%. I know more of the inside stuff I'm not more than anybody. I'm not saying that more than your normal pro wrestling fan, because I have friends that are pro wrestlers. I tried pro wrestling at one point. Like literally, it is a thing, and it is so tough on your body. Literally, wrestling school is you learning how to fucking beat the shit out of yourself.
Yeah, like people say it's fake, and like, well, when they're falling and they're getting the shit hit out of them, like with a chair, that shit's not fake. You actually yourself get hit by a chair. You let yourself fall 7 feet. You know.
Anytime someone says it's fake to me, I'm like, cool. Go in there and take one fucking bump.
Yeah.
One, and tell me what you feel like right after. And then remember that they do that. It's not one bump. They take like 100 bumps in a single match.
Yeah. Just because that punching is a fake doesn't mean that fucking when they turned them over, it was fake.
Hey, guess what? A wrestling ring. You know what a wrestling ring's made out of, right?
What's that made out of?
It is steel. Then it's wood planks with this much foam. I'm not kidding. No more bigger than that much foam over the wood, and then a mat. And then some of them don't even put that foam on it. It's just the wood with the mat.
Fuck yourself up. Like,
it's wood. It's wood. They're falling down on wood planks.
Yeah. All right, man. So that's the Iron Claw. You gave it. We both gave it 3.9, I think. Just we thought that could have been done a bit differently, and whatever.
And mine could just be, dude, I'm a huge pro wrestling fan. I know the story. And to me, I don't think they should have took Chris out. I really think they could have used it more, because the Chris thing is kind of what pushes Kerry over the limit. And that's why Kerry thinks he's just all fucking gone and stuff like that.
But I put Chris in this podcast, so we give him a little bit of love.
Hey, Chris Von Erich.
Yeah.
Love.
All right, guys. Next week we're doing Aquaman 2 and The Rebel Moon, which is
And then
on
the week
Netflix.
after that is our year roundup, right?
Yeah, on Wednesday. I think it's on Wednesday.
Yeah,
And
it's
we'll
on
do-
Wednesday. I have it scheduled off. I know that.
Yeah,
'Cause
we
now
have Mark.
I'm getting booked for a bunch of different
Yeah.
like sports events.
Yeah, Mark Radovich will be there. So like tradition, he'll be there. Talk about his top 10. We'll talk about his top 10, our honorable mentions, and our top 5 worst. And I still have yet to put that out there because I don't like talk that much about bad movies, but there were certainly some bad ones this year.
So we're doing 5 mentions, 5 worst, and top 10, right?
Yep, right, correct.
All right, cool.
You guys find us online, moviesonsuck.net. We're w2mnet.com. This is W number 2, M as in movies, net.com. You'll find us there along with a bunch of other podcasts or baller. You guys can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/moviesonsuck podcast. We're Twitter, NTS Podcast. Instagram is NTS Podcast. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/moviesonsuck. You'll find us there. You guys, if we have enough subscribers, we'll go ahead and start putting up bonus content. I'll pull Neil out of his time playing Old Republic to get some recording done. We're also on Bonfire. You go to bonfire.com/suck. You'll find that shirt Neil's wearing along with a bunch of other cool stuff Neil's made. If you're watching YouTube, don't subscribe. Watch Facebook or watch us Facebook on that page. You guys want to send us an old-fashioned email? It's info@moviesdon'tsuck.net or moviesdon'tsuckpodcast@gmail.com. And where do you find podcasts? You find Movies Don't Suck and some that do. Neil, what do you do for small businesses?
If you got a small business and you want to promote your stuff right here, all you have to do is remember, guess what? We'll do it for you, and we'll do it for free. Just to our thousands of our listeners, our millions of followers, let us know. Give us the information. We want to be a part of your world, part of your life, and help you out and promote you out there, hopefully to make you millions and millions and millions of dollars.
No strings attached. No strings attached whatsoever.
Well, Chris has some strings attached. He's pretty weird about that stuff.
Come on. But yeah, you good to get out of here, pal?
I'm good to go. That's another episode of Movies Don't Suck and Some Do. My name's Neil.
I'm Chris.
And remember, guys, no matter how hard the day is, no matter if the light is on the way in or out, remember the famous words of Kevin Von Erich when he said, "Every day I wake up and everything else is just a challenge, but that's okay. At least I woke up." You guys have a good day.
Yes.
Thank you guys for
Sorry.
Thank you guys for watching. You guys all have a good night. We're out of here for the day. You guys kicked hair. Make sure to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, fucking all the above. I don't know, all of them, Facebook, whatever. Have a good day.
I gotta mention that. I gotta mention our TikTok on